I went on this like long ass rant, and now it's gone because I thought I had pushed the record button, but I didn't. Now that gives me something to otherwise talk about. And the thing that I was talking about though is, since I have this hypothetical job, that I'm going to be making hypothetical money, and then I'm responsible for that hypothetical money, how it should be spent. And so it can go anywhere, right? I could spend it on food, but that's like really dumb to do because I'm not going to be making enough that I'm going to be able to get off at EBT. It's much less than that. So, but it's not insignificant. We're talking, a couple $1,000 by the end of the year. Maybe upwards of 5, maybe. But we're skeptical of that number. Closer to the low end is what I would guess. So I want to, it makes sense to invest in oneself if everything is equal, right? Because if you invest in yourself, then in the future there's more possibilities. And so that's the things I should get, is things that are investing in myself. And so the things that I want to improve on are music right now. I have like an itch for that, and my art stuff. I want to get better. I want to be able to do more things with it, and I've barely started exploring that medium. So eventually maybe tie the music and the visual arts together in some fun way. But because I have I don't know if you've noticed, but I have not focused at all on the sound aspect of most of my videos. Now, sometimes I do. Sometimes I make it a deliberate effort for that, but when I'm doing that, then the visual elements come secondary at this point. And so I want to be able to make stuff where everything within the visual and the auditory experience is deliberate. Like, I care equally, or I care about both of them strongly. How about that? Like, they don't have to be comparable, like directly comparable, just like, right now it'll be like, oh, like I like this little bit of the sound in something, or I like this section I did, but generally the whole thing is, like, right now, whatever happens to get caught is what's getting caught. I am not thinking about that, and I'm not going to, almost certainly not going to put, like, deliberate choices in the music in the background or anything. But I want to. And so I've been thinking what to do, what I should get. And I play ukulele a little bit, which is a diminished form of the guitar dream, because guitar was too hard. If I was super gung-ho about, like, well, maybe this thing, I'll be able to do it in 10 years, then I would go guitar. But because I want to be able to be doing this by the start of next year, then we're talking ukulele, because I can play a lot on the ukulele. I just don't often. And I haven't lately because Yuki was a casualty in the last little thing. So we want a spiritual successor to Yuki. So that's one thing. But I'm not going to do, like, the big factory one. I'm not going to do, like, a line of 200,000 of these things being produced all at once. That's not the way I'm going to go about it. I'm going to get a handcrafted by an artisan ukulele. At least that's the direction I want to go. Because then I'm supporting, like, an artisan. I'm supporting someone who is good at their craft and does it to the level where enough people are, like, vying for that it has to be the time has to be limited in some way, right? Like, if you have requests to make videos all the time, it makes sense to put, like, a number on that and be like, okay, if you don't care enough to pay me $5 to be able to ask this, I no longer can really take it because there's too many, right? That's an example. That's an alternative way of seeing it, right? So I mean, ukuleles have a lot of materials in it. It's not like a $5 ask to make a video, right? It's a big time investment on the part of the creator too. So it's a kind of pretty penny going for something like that. It's not like a $60 from the corner store, music store that has just ukuleles already there. If you're going that route, which I highly intend to, then it makes sense to just go wild with it. What do I actually want in an ukulele? Well, tenor is the compromise, but baritone would be better. And instead of 4 strings, I'd want 5. It'd have to be solid body because I want it to be quiet when it's not plugged in. And I want like little to no resonance when it's not plugged in. And I want acoustic pickups for the electric. Maybe piezoelectric pickup could be fun. And so that's pretty custom. But there's people who do it, so that's what we're thinking. Additionally, we're thinking iPad, one of the the high-end 2 terabyte iPad, so that we can get Clip Studio Paint on it. That's like the things that I'm thinking about doing in the near term. Now that I have monetary fiscal responsibility, I have to make decisions about where I spend my money. It sucks. It's a different problem from like just living a normal life though, because there it's like, well, you need a house, so you have to pay rent. Have to, not like there's no choice in the matter. And then you need electricity and you need like water. No choice in the matter there either. You decide you don't want some of these things, and then they mark your house as condemned. Romeo's a barky dog, huh? You may have noticed, I don't know if it's obvious, but you may have noticed that there's no dog around here right now, because he's been sent to a better place. That is not a euphemism. Someone who is a trainer of that specific breed and is very familiar with that specific breed took him, and it was like kind of amazing seeing how quickly Sydney responded to this guy. And yeah, they're doing things like going out into the mountains supposedly. So he's better off for sure. But more importantly for me, I can sit out here without him bothering me. It's so much nicer. So yeah, that's the shit that I've been thinking about, and the thing that I had previously recorded. There's one more thing, that laptop. Yeah, there's that weird laptop. We still didn't look up what the name of it was, but it's a weird laptop. We're thinking about getting one of those too.
Not being paid by these people, but this is the laptop. This is the laptop that I'm thinking about. It's, quote, an open hardware laptop, and it comes in like all these modules. It has a hardware keyboard, like mechanical keyboard, that's what they're called. It's got a trackpad, a 5-button trackpad. See there, and it's not like spec wise amazing or anything, but it has a lot of nice features that I like in a Plan 9 style laptop. It's more in line with the proper ideas about how a computer should be. So this is like something that I'm thinking of too, of doing. Probably after getting the iPad, because unfortunately the iPad is too useful not to have, and it's like the sphere of devices that I have least, like it's a hole. It's like a hole that I have, and I need to fill the music hole first, because I still have, you know, stuff near computing, right? Like I can still draw with this. There's reasons why I'm not lately. Ooh. It's a nice laptop. You know, it's not like a new one or anything, but for the kind of stuff I use, it's pretty nice. Except nowadays in Krita, I'm wanting to do images that are a 6:9 size, like at a quality that would print well. That's something like this. Let's go inches. Close to this. But the problem is, let's do like 300 DPI. This doesn't have that much RAM. Is the problem. And because it doesn't have that much RAM, let's do 350. Because it doesn't have that much RAM, it's very sluggish doing stuff on here. Let's see. That little delay is like somewhat annoying, but that's like a pretty simple brush. If I go to something like this, it's a bit worse. You can see that. So depending on what I'm doing, it can be very, very slow. And it gets worse if I do, like, if I turn on brush smoothing. Let's go stabilized. And so it's like, it gets really sluggish. And this is like, you can live with something like this. It's possible to you know, still use this to do whatever it is you want to do with it this way. But the issues come in when I start doing like my final steps. So let's just make something real quick that'll let me demonstrate this. Okay, so I like using these to apply all kinds of crazy effects to the base stuff. But as you can see, it's really struggling now. Really struggling. That's dream smoothing. For something like this, I would want to do, I don't know, Aurora is a good one. That's pretty quick. Let's apply it. Aurora's pretty fast. But if we do Aurora, then maybe the 600 DPI was just the issue. Because this feels a lot better than it was. it crashes sometimes is the problem. It sometimes hangs here and then will just crash, and I won't have any way of recovering it. Real time. This is a mood killer. 'Cause I don't have like a pipelined kind of approach to things. I'll do something like this and then like I'll draw on that and then I'll do other things with it. And so the quicker this part of the workflow is, the better, because it's ends up being this chunk that can kill the drawing immediately by corrupting it and crashing, or it can just be a stone I step over, but it always takes a long time. And most of that time is like this, just waiting for it. And I can't do much anything else on this computer while it's doing this, because that all just raises the chances of everything going to shit. So iPad with Clip Studio Paint, that would, one, get me back in the Clip Studio Paint ecosystem, which is one that I really, really liked. And it has more RAM, it has more processing power, it has a good pen. So it fulfills all my needs there. And then also I'd be able to connect my phone to it, so I'd be able to make better videos. Because right now I'm using iMovie on my iPhone to do all my editing. Not ideal. It's still going. For real, for real. Well, I guess some LoRa modules, something like this, and mess around with these, because these are long distance radio relay kind of nodes. But that'll be in the more future, back when I can get back to doing hardware shit. I should probably have some on hand, because I don't know when that's gonna be, and it might be when I don't have money again. So probably be good to buy at least a couple of them at some point. So really, still going. All right, we're gonna have to call it. This is my point with this. So I haven't used this very often for drawing. I could do things around it, but drawing on an actual tablet is more of an enjoyable experience.